So the traffic got heavy. Everything got heavy. And I had to take a break to save hours, to not waste them in traffic. You know, I found a good spot. I'm going to tell you where it's at before I split. I'll put it in the comments. It's a good little spot. So I hope you have a good spot. I hope you have lunch. The picture that you looked at is called goulash. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you something. People in America have got several different ideas of what goulash is. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you where it come from. There's some stuff that Russia made and that the Slavs made called borscht. It's like a beef stew. And then there is goulash, like what you saw in that picture. The goulash that's in that picture, that's straight out of Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia does not exist anymore. Okay, but just like the title says, the culture will survive. It will absolutely survive the war. It survives all wars. Just look at Yugoslavia. If you need an idea of what's going to happen, the people are going to go away. They're going to wait till the war stops. They're going to come back and bring back money and knowledge from other countries. They're going to rebuild. And they're going to bring back their food. Now in the Bible, they were commanded to make unleavened bread as a memory of being taken out of bondage in Egypt. Unleavened mean they did not put any yeast in it and didn't even allow it time to rise because they wanted to celebrate so quickly and eat it so quickly. They didn't even want to have time. It wound up like a matzah, like a flat bread. Kind of like the Taste of India restaurants have. Their garlic bread is phenomenal. Man, I'll try to think of the name of that. Everything escapes me, you know, sometimes, but that is the best flatbread. But the bread you see in the picture, and by the way, that's so people would have the memory. The best memory that you could possibly have is remembering first how to make your traditional food. Second, the person that taught you this food. And third, if they're gone, the memory of them. And that's what helps you to remember the culture and the people. These people are going to take with them their food, but look at Yugoslavia for an example. The president died. It was a whole big mess back then. And then, you know, everybody, not to bring it up, but the leadership then, I'm not even going to name the name, starts with a T. I know these things. It's not about that. This video is not about that. They drove the Christians against the Muslims there, and they were living in peace and in harmony together. It became a war that nobody wanted to fight. They even took lunch breaks from the war and they would eat together. Listen, these people, they didn't really want to be in that war. Understand this. In the end, there is still real goulash. I'm at a rest area. The highway was full. I haven't had time to make goulash. I've been meaning to. You buy one packet. Everybody makes it a little different too. This is the real deal. So I'll give you the GPS latitude and longitude. I'll give you the name of the place. God bless them for being what they are. They're a couple of, you know, barely middle-aged, young guys in there. So they should be there for a good hot minute making Yugoslavian food. They're making this fresh bread, and they also have a beef with probably 5 or 10% lamb mix burger. I got one of them too. But this is real goulash. I found true Yugoslavian goulash. This is mountain food. People, you don't know what you're missing till you have it. So I'll make sure that you have the place and the name and where it's at. Because since you can't go to Yugoslavia anymore, but the people, they brought the culture, they brought the food, it's still available and able to be had. And it's some of the best food on the planet. And it's kept people alive for millions of years. Well, I don't know just how many years they've been making goulash, but it's good stuff. And the bread is a big round cake of a bread. And it's different. It's not quite French bread, whatever. Just dip it in the goulash and eat it and be like, this is sustainable. It will give you the strength you need to work, do physical work, whatever. Go cut down some trees off the mountain. Do whatever you're doing. Man, it's freaking phenomenal. Man. And it's a different kind of beef stew taste. It's not like the Denny Moore beef stew, which is decent in a can with rice, but this, I don't know what to say. Not quite it's not like a teriyaki or nothing like that. It's not overwhelming spice taste. So the India food I like can get a bit spicy. This is good stuff. Anyway, what will happen in the end? Operator Starsky just put a picture up showing a family taking their last photo in front of the house that was destroyed, right? But what are they doing? They got two big aluminum or stainless, whatever pots, stainless probably, pots out front with some cinder blocks and fire under them, and they're making stew. That's what you do. And you bring your culture and your food with you. So they'll come to greener pastures like that grass right there, and then they'll go back and they'll bring it back with them. All the bombs in the world can't stop culture. They can hate it if they want to. They tried to kill the Jews in Europe. They brought their culture with them. Okay? You can't stop culture if there's just one left. And even Egypt itself, when it was in all of its wars, it's really funny. Their pharaoh would put up a stela saying how there was a great war and he did this and it, but they always lost land. It's because they were defeated every time. They were made to be pushed back. Eventually Egypt was such a small country because they had lost so much land in these wars that even though they put up stelas saying this was where we had a great triumph and whatever, well, go back to the edge of where your land was that you controlled and you might see something different. So they even said that they had gotten rid of all of the Jews and killed the last seed of the Jews, which could not have been true, right? That's impossible. Even though they were a mixed multitude, right? No, it was a lie. Just because you carved it in stone does not make it true. So they lost land and continued to lose land until they were so small at that point, and Rome came in. So but the food is so good it will always survive, and the culture will always survive. You can't kill an ideal. And so a free Ukraine is an ideal. Also, the people of Yugoslavia, it's an ideal. You can't destroy an ideal. It's impossible. It's timeless. And they will continue to make the same food, and they will continue to have the culture. And they will teach their children about who taught them how to make it in the first place. And then it will continue through that. Culture will bring forward the people, and then the people will bring the culture back to where they came from. One of the lost tribes of Israel, their saying is, see you in Senna. Now, where this came from, there was a country they finally found it called Senna. And it was Jewish. And there were blacks and whites. There were all of the tribes, but not all of them were there. Those were the lost tribes that went there. Well, when they went there, they had a dam that held back all the water, and the whole place could grow everything, and they thought of it as a paradise. So like Ukraine's wheat belt, they have really good soil. Well, you can take water there now and it would grow things. But the dam broke, no one could fix it, something happened, and there you go, all the people scattered from there. But the place was called Senna. And so they all said one day they will return to Senna. And now they say, see you in Senna. Because they don't even attribute it to going back to that place, they attribute it to heaven. They say now, see you in heaven. See you in Senna. It's like S-E-N-A, but it's pronounced like S-E-N-N-A. You can look it up. So the people will always remember where they come from. They will always remember their culture. Everyone looks now at the people who saved the stories and the people who saved the food from the different cultures and kept it alive. The Cherokee are teaching people to speak Cherokee again, you know? For a long time, they were told, no, don't speak your tongue and it's against the law, and cut your hair and go to this school and all this. And now every once in a while you hear somebody say, well, say yo, you know? I mean, it's coming back. The world, everything is a big circle. It comes back around. And for me to even walk into this place and then there's a Yugoslavian restaurant when there's no more Yugoslavia just proves that even more. So I will make sure that there's GPS, latitude, longitude, this place, and directions and all that stuff as soon as I split. But man, oh man, this is perfectly, I know, because I know some Yugoslavians and I've had the food and understand people. This is perfect goulash. So they put some stuff in the TA and call it that, and they put macaroni noodles. That's not what's up. You can put noodles in it, but this, it's all about that broth and that meat and whatever kind of, I don't know, you call it spices so much, but it's almost like it's got a ground beef in the broth and then also beef with it. And Ukraine will do the same thing, and they're Slavs. So they'll find in other countries, likely Yugoslavian restaurants, likely, they will find their own food. And they'll come back together. And one day they will go back to their own Senna. So, people, I'm gonna get off this thing. It was just a quick little something. And I'll tell you, you'll know where you're at when you find a rest area with a 7-Eleven. If you're in a truck, you got to park behind the 7-Eleven. You got to walk way over to it. I'm fixing to drop the GPS, latitude, longitude, all that, and I'm out. I'm gonna dip, but you got to get you some of this bread and some of this goulash. I'm not lying to you. And go ahead and get the lamb burger because you know it's good. It's lamb and meat. It's mostly meat, but it's some lamb, and they just know what they're doing. They wouldn't continue it if it wasn't worth continuing. And no war can stop it. So they can try to take the people out of their country. They can try to destroy what they think they can destroy. But a house is just a box. And you can't stop the culture. I don't care what culture it is. There will always be someone left who will teach it. There'll always be someone listening. And they will remember who they learned it from. And food is survival itself. Once you learn that, you'll understand that you can find a culture through its food. Just like you can recognize a culture through its food. You'll know what you're eating, where it came from, what country, once you learn what the different foods are that are straight up ethnic foods. Like goulash, like true goulash. So I'm gonna get off this thing. God bless you, people. That's all I got for you. A little something, a little bright spot. You know, they'll find greener pastures, just like that one there. So I'm gonna get off this thing. I'm out. God bless you. Peace.